Have enough money to kick back and enjoy your golden years of retirement? Tony Torino is a certified financial planner at Barnum Financial Group. Close to 50% of Americans between the ages of 56 62 will run out of funds for basic retirement expenses if they retire at 65. Tony, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We talk about the retirement age at 65, but right now I think they're talking about pushing it to 70 and cutting back on Social Security.
That's the buzz, and we really don't have there's nothing out there that's in stone, but you've seen over the years, they've dropped the benefit if you take it at 62. They've changed the normal retirement age depending when you're born to 66 or 67, and they've made an incentive if you wait till 70 that you can get more on your Social Security benefits. So they're doing what they can to realize that they have an insolvent system.
But you cannot rely on Social Security. You've got to have a retirement plan.
You're absolutely correct, but funny you say that, because if you look at percentages, quite a large percentage of retirees' income still comes from Social Security and is still projected to come from Social Security. So people are much more dependent on it than you and I both know. But the truth is what you said, is that individuals, people, consumers have to start learning how to plan on their own.
Well, our generation has learned that we really cannot rely on Social Security.
Absolutely. And it used to be that when you retired, because what happens is you have a paradigm shift. And the paradigm shift is that the older generation, when they retired, give my grandparents, for example, they retired with pension plans. 2 pension plans, 2 Social Securities in most cases, 4 guaranteed sources of income, and they really didn't have much of a worry because they lived off of that. Well, today you've seen that pension plans have gone mostly by the wayside, and we've gone to more of a socialist with a 401k, provide for yourself, save for yourself. So Social Security is still a large part, but we have to fill the rest of the gap.
All right. If you're in your 60s, is it too late to put together a retirement plan if you don't have a lot?
It's never too late. What you really have to think about in the definition of a lot, that's a double-edged sword, because a lot to me may not be a lot to you, or vice versa. What you have to look at is your specific situation. And what you have to realize, in all your years when you were getting to retirement, you were in accumulation. You were managing your money. When you retire, now you're in distribution, and you're managing your risk. It is very different. Because when you're accumulating, you can, if you have inflation creeps up, or if you have up and down markets, you can weather through that. When you retire, you have longevity to worry about. Is my money going to last me as long as I live? That's the #1 financial
Absolutely.
concern.
When more people living longer, that is a big concern. All right, what's a sound retirement plan?
A sound retirement plan starts with understanding your goals. What is it that you want to accomplish? And most people say, well, I'd like to maintain the same lifestyle. That takes you to step number 2. What is your lifestyle? How much is it going to cost you to live today, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? What's your required rate of return? How are you going to get those incomes? Next would be your risks. Okay, what are your risks in retirement? Most people generally have the same retirement risks. Some are a little bit different, depends what your situation is. How are you going to put that strategy in place and implement it? And then last, how are you going to manage it going forward? Because it's going to change. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not put the key in the door, turn it, and walk away. You have to constantly take a look at it. So what I would tell you is if you follow those steps, you're going to be on your way to putting together what would be a sound plan.
Well, how old should you be when you start a plan like this?
Any age, because what happens is, and what most people don't realize, the younger you are, the easier it is to become successful, because it takes a lot less money on a per week or per month or per year basis. What happens is you have people waiting so long, and then the amount of money that they have to use to fund their retirement plans,
in the period of time you have left,
it's enormous. And if you think about that, I'll give you a very good example. Pension plans have gone by the wayside because of the expense. And when you think about it, they have a required rate of return, Jocelyn, that they use in that pension plan to say, okay, when you retire, here's what you earned over the years, here's what I save for you, here's what I'm going to pay you, and I'm going to assume you're going to live this long. That's the same thought process as individuals we have to think about with our own money. So how do you make your own guaranteed income stream in addition to Social Security to make sure your money will last?
And just really quickly, let's say you start work about 25, 26, and you start putting away $100 a month. How much would that be by the time you retire?
Well, I'll give you this just because I know the statistic. 25 to 65, 40 years, if you got a 10% rate of return and you saved about $168 a month, you'd have about $1 million.
Wow. All right. Now, if you want to get in touch with Tony at Barnum Financial Group, all the information is right there on the screen, or just come to our website. We'll have that information for you. Tony, again, thank you. Fabulous advice for everybody.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Don't go away. There's more Connecticut Style right after this.